is Charles Salu, Executive Director of KINARA for Youth Evolution. The KINARA for Youth Evolution empowers young people to change their communities regarding sexual reproductive health, gender equality, education, and economic development. They work with children and youth in Tanzania. So I will stop sharing now and hand it over to you, Charles.
I can now start my presentation here. So I would like to start with our values, which actually we have as organization. Like we do have vision, but also actually we have the mission as well. So our vision actually is just have young people who contribute to community development approaches. But also our mission is just empowering young people to be change makers in their communities. So what actually we are focusing on, we know young people, they have a lot of issues also which they might be facing, but sometimes it's been difficult for other people to speak on behalf. So for us, actually, we want to put them forefront so that now they can be able to tell their story in their community. And actually from there is how we can find some changes. Because sometimes we see as leaders, we can have a lot of knowledge. Like now we already get knowledge from gratitude, but sometimes it's difficult. We need now to make sure that we extend this knowledge to the community so that also they can be capable in using them. It's how now we can have the holistic change. But also we have our core values that we have integrated, but also we have creativity that wherever we are doing for us, we are making sure that we become creative. And this is what actually it can also try to differentiate us from other organizations. But also we work actually, wherever we do, we always committed that from our bottom of our hearts that we have to do this and to achieve something. But also we focus on voice. We want, as I said, these young people to make sure that wherever the community we are working with, now also they can be able to speak, to articulate, wherever they can have, wherever they meet with maybe decision makers, also they can be able to share their issues and find the way out on how they can solve it. But also for us, we make sure that we keep on learning and the growth. But wherever we are doing, we are making sure that because we know like learning have no end. So always we are keep on learning, but also we are encouraging our beneficiaries because we are just focusing to young people also that they can continue learning and also they can grow, because sometimes it's difficult to grow without having other ideas, which maybe they may be coming from external. But also we have our uniqueness. For us as a youth-led organization, actually we are working on with marginalized youth. It's whom we are working in Morogoro region in Tanzania. But also we are grassroots organization. That's this makes us to be unique. But also is the organization actually is led by youth. So that's also our uniqueness. But also the good thing is that our programs, they are being run through integrated approach. That wherever, for example, when we are getting maybe like maybe young people is joining maybe on livelihoods, but sometimes also we are making sure that they also can be able to get some sexual reproductive health and rights education. So wherever we are being identifying some beneficiaries joining our services, we are making sure that they can at least get from different service which we are offering in our organization. But also we have our three high achievable goals. Our three actually. For example, here actually we are thinking like in 2026 about 1,800 change makers and like 1,020 total beneficiaries will be empowered with the knowledge, skills, and the tools to drive positive change in their communities in the area of sexual reproductive health and rights, education, livelihood, and civic engagement, and climate action. So I think for us, it is what actually we are looking forward. And actually we already started making sure that now we prepare these young people that they can have knowledge wherever maybe we are talking about issues of maybe livelihood. For example, now we already started something which is actually tailoring, which is empowering some tailoring skills to young people. And some of them, they have been graduating and joining our local textile industry, which we have here in Morogoro, which is helping now that they can be capable, because sometimes we are fighting about gender-based violence, but also sometimes if we try to go into deeper, you find some of the other reasons is actually because women sometimes they may not have good economic status. That's why they are being violated. So it's what we are making sure we make sure that we empower, but also we know like girls, for example, in school, that if they can be capacitated, they can have high knowledge on how actually they can protect their bodies, that it will help, and now they can have some decisions. So it's what we are making sure we empower them skills, and then from there now they can be forefront of making sure that they can try to duplicate that knowledge to other people. But also we are thinking like this beneficiaries driving positive change on the time of 3 years. But also actually we have our existing project which we do have right now. For example, we have one is called Big Sisters and Big Brothers, is under sexual reproductive health and rights. So what we do, we have been identifying young people in secondary schools, and those maybe which are maybe are in Form 3. So we train them, we provide them like mentorship skills, and then those in Form 1 who maybe it's the first time of joining school. So we are they are being mentored by their older girls who we are calling like big sisters, and this is helping them like to have some interaction in terms of having conversation, and also sometimes coming with some reasons why actually sometimes they are being getting teenage pregnancy without expectations. So this is helping rather than just we as organization just going there and having sessions. Sometimes it may be difficult for young people to be open. So we are making sure that we use this approach, and it has been enabling these young people to be open. But also we have like most vulnerable children. This is under education program which we have. So what we do, we have been identifying young people there in the community and trying to support them with scholastic materials. We have been supporting them from Form 1 up to university level. So we do this because we want them also to be productive members in their communities. We need them maybe tomorrow to be leaders. So they cannot be leaders if actually they are not meeting their education dreams. So that's why we are making sure we support them in that way. And also mentorship has been like in our part that also we have been providing for them, because we know the challenge they may have from their families. But also we have livelihood here. We have tailoring project, which I already mentioned, which also we are making sure that we empower these skills to young people, because we know even if he's graduate from the university, there is the challenges of unemployment. So sometimes maybe we need to have like leadership spirit on trying to unlock those maybe unemployment challenges which are been facing our journey, in our life journey. But also we have our big logs where actually what we have been doing, like we have been identifying needs, conducting baseline and raising awareness through campaign, dialogue, and meeting on maybe on sexual reproductive health that I mentioned about big sisters and big brothers. So we have been meeting with them. Sometimes we done campaign. Sometimes we have been taking them to the radio sessions, TV sessions, so that from there also now they can experience getting some confidence on how they can speak, they can discuss their issues. So we have been doing that. So we can see here, like, this is actually Women Day, actually was a campaign here. But also we use mobile library. Like we know, like the other schools, they are not having books. So for us, what we do, we have been taking like books, and then we move with them at school so that we can give the ample time to young people so that they can borrow and also they can read some books. So it's what we have been doing. But also we identify needs through and provide more different types of training courses. For example, now we are looking forward on making sure that we can have more like livelihood options. We are thinking maybe we can have like online tailoring training. Also, although we are still actually discussing to see how it can be done. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Charles, actually, I'd love to move on to
yes,
just one question for our from our Q&A, just in the sake of
yes.
of time, and then we can share this information out after the webinar. I'd love if you can share just a brief response to what was most valuable to you from the Gratitude Network program.
Actually, what I can say, I came to realize that we were somehow blinded. For example, actually, we were on the prioritization actually was an issue. Like even coming up with like the goals, maybe we have to set a goal, which maybe now we can start implementing. We had, but actually was not like what we have learned from designing, not actually from gratitude and the way now we are doing. But also something which we learned is like, which to me is very valuable, and now it's improving in our organization, is about that in the previous time we didn't have like this, we call it even like Monday meetings, but now we see it's valuable that every Monday we have been meeting, we have been discussing about what we can do to make sure that we can achieve our goals, something like that. So we didn't have like that. So I may say gratitude, I think it is on my side, also on the leadership, how I can interact with my team. Sometimes we discuss a lot about like teamwork as values, but sometimes we don't live it. But now I see now in another high how I can use them, how I can interact. So I may say there is a lot of things which we have learned, but something which I won't forget actually is about the idea of having the international board as an organization. Actually, to me, that was very fantastic. And now I already started. And actually, we are looking forward maybe before the end of this year, I can have one in Canada.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing all of that, Charles. And I think that interconnectedness between prioritization, communication, teamwork, you really identified it. So thank you.